Yep, I'm a wolfman again. I feel like talking animal movies have always been a big thing for Hollywood. I mean, their animals and celebrities' voices are coming out of them, like who can get behind that? But though they've been around for a while, I don't think they really took off until the early 2000s, where movies like Ice Age and Madagascar showed us just how successful these types of movies can really be. Oh, what I wouldn't give to go back to these times. Now, talking animal movies are extremely popular and commonplace in mainstream media. Sure, a lot of them released now aren't really that great, but the point I'm making is that talking animal movies have a super wide appeal, but maybe none quite as wide as Zootopia. Now, I was like 9, maybe 10 when the first Zootopia came out, and I remember it being a really big deal, not just because it was a huge financial success, but also because of its allegory about societal racism and prejudice. An allegory that people are now saying didn't even work within the context of the film. What is it with the internet giving movies god levels of praise when they come out and then suddenly acting like they're the worst thing ever years later? Sure, you could say the hype died down and now you can see the movie for what it truly is, but dang, are these movies really that bad? The biggest loophole fans have brought out for the first movie is that because predators actually were savage at one point, prey actually had a legit reason to fear or dislike them, as opposed to real racism, which is usually founded on fabricating lies and stereotypes about a certain group of people to keep them down or boxed in. And yeah, sure, it probably could have been handled a little bit better in the movie, but I think the main message still ultimately stands, which is you shouldn't assume all members of a certain race or group are the same. And also that a group shouldn't be blamed for the messed up things that their ancestors did. That's a message that could actually apply to both the past oppressors and the oppressed. But why go into complex subtext when video essay channels will do it for you? All of that being said, I'm actually a pretty big Zootopia fan. I remember really liking the first movie when it came out, mostly because of the colorful animation, but my appreciation for it has really grown over the years. How tight and witty the writing is, the incredible details of Zootopia itself, and also how the movie was willing to be dark and not shy away from displaying how cruel and unforgiving the world can be. Also, you know, Nick and Judy, who have absolutely amazing chemistry. Maybe a little too amazing. Yeah, I don't have the time or will to go into all the crazy stuff the internet has produced about these two, but I will say that these Sora videos are absolutely insane. Somebody actually took the time to realize that one infamous webcomic.
Nick! Nick, forgive me! No! No!
Yeah, this is concerning on like multiple levels, and low-key all I could think about when I was watching the sequel. Anyways, the prospect of a Zootopia sequel was really exciting for me, and I think a lot of other people too. It's one of those worlds that's so big and interesting, you can't help but want to return to it and spend more time in it. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't lose a little bit of hype waiting for the movie to come out. Maybe it was the onslaught of AI videos, or the fact that the internet kind of turned on the first movie, or even the fact that Disney's track record has actually been kind of bad lately. But I just wasn't as excited for the sequel as I thought I'd be. Which I guess is my bad, because Zootopia 2 is actually really good. The movie literally picks up where the last one left off, establishing Nick and Judy as new cops on the force, cementing the formation of their partnership. They get assigned a smaller case, which leads to a bigger case about a snake in a secret reptile population or society. So it's up to Nick and Judy to solve the mystery by finding a special book that will reveal the coordinates of, yeah, you probably heard this already. I mean, it's a story that's been done before. It's another classic case of the mystery MacGuffin, which was actually very cleverly used in The Bad Guys too. But while the main story may feel kinda standard, it's the way it's told that really got me hooked and invested in the movie. Which, when you think about it, should really be the main focus of filmmakers now. You can tell a story that's been done a million times before, but as long as you tell it in a way that's fresh and engaging, then you can win over your audience. So while the first movie's focus was more on racism and prejudice, which is still a pretty big player here, Zootopia 2 focuses more on colonialism and corporate greed, and how those factors affect people's mindsets, biases, and even action. This is mainly displayed through the villainous Linksley family. I won't give away too much for spoiler reasons, but it's a really good example of how power and corruption often go hand in hand, and how people often use their wealth, influence, and status to subjugate those who inherently have less of these things. And oftentimes society willingly gives power to those who aren't even looking out for the little guy. To put it into layman terms, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And the two leads, Nick and Judy, are a good foil to this allegory, just as much as they're a good foil to each other. If anybody is watching Zootopia 2, I guarantee you it's because of Nick and Judy, who really are the dream team. Jason Bateman and Jennifer Goodwin do a fantastic job bringing these characters to life, emphasizing both their strengths and insecurities. And you know, a witty script also helps. Funny enough, most of their amazing dynamic comes from just how different they are, which eventually comes to a head and does result in the cliche third act breakup. But this might be one of the rare instances where it actually works well, because we see how much the characters need and learn from each other while they're separated. Wild Robot actually handled this exceptionally, by the way. No, I will not pass up an opportunity to praise this movie. But yeah, the movie uses the case to challenge them as both partners and individuals, and we get some really great character growth because of it. It's so great when a sequel actually takes advantage of good chemistry. Now, as far as the new characters, a lot of them are still interesting, just kind of B-plots compared to Nick and Judy's story. Ki Kwan is a delight as Gary, and basically serves as a key to cracking the mystery. He also adds an extra layer of surprising heartwarming energy to the film. There's a scene with him and Judy during the climax that is so sweet and tender, like the type of scene that reminds you how far Disney has fallen off with making really emotionally investing narratives. He's technically a big part of the movie, but maybe not as big as you'd expect. I have never found Fortune Feimster funny, but she actually has some solid comedic moments as Nick and Judy's guide through March World and the Reptile Society. Hollywood just finds country people so hilarious. And as a person who lives in the South, yeah, they can be. Patrick Warburton is pretty funny as the actor turned politician mayor. Get it? I kind of felt like there was more they could have done with his character, but I get it. Those are the standouts, but most of the rest are either just characters from the first movie making quick appearances, or just blink and you'll miss some voice cameos, which is probably one of the weaker aspects of the movie. Like, it would have been nice to see more of Clawhauser, Judy's parents, Bogo, heck, even Bellwether, but because the movie is already pretty stuffed, it just doesn't have the time to. Really, my only other problem with the film is once again the villain, which is another twist villain. Still done way better than Bellwether, but I still couldn't get into his character. I don't know, probably just a personal preference thing. Also, I know the animators are keeping up with what's on the internet, because some scenes feel just a little bit too fan servicey, if you know what I mean. No, you guys definitely know what I'm talking about. The animation is low-key so great that it's almost not even worth mentioning. As any animated movie released in theaters in 2025, it looks gorgeous. S-tier character designs and jaw-droppingly good world building. You can really see the detail and thought they put into each new location. And this is unsurprisingly the biggest movie Disney Animation has ever produced on a technical level. Michael Giacchino also puts out another banger soundtrack, and I can't even lie, Shakira's Zoo song has been stuck in my head ever since the first trailer released. I'm not saying it's better than Try Everything, but it's definitely another earworm. So overall, a really great sequel. It holds on to what works about the first movie, adds to the ethos of the franchise, and makes me excited to see even more from the Zootopia universe in the future. And seeing as how this movie is tracking box office wise, we're definitely getting a third movie. Also, side note, I got to watch In Your Dreams on Netflix and I actually kind of enjoyed it. It is definitely a movie that moves too fast and rushes a lot of its plot lines, but it's still a lot of fun and has a sweet side to it. I probably like Dream Productions better, to be honest. And making the Sandman evil, yeah, that was definitely a choice. Hello everybody, thank you for watching my review. I really appreciate your guys' support. I am so close to 100k, so hopefully I can get there soon. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your year. This is probably the last review of the year. I won't say last video, but definitely the last review. And it's been a really good year for me, and I hope it's been a good year for you guys as well. So thanks again for everything, and I will see you all soon. Bye.